Join me as we talk all things true crime.
Made contact and shattered.
The missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and that the mother has went for a wall, came home, now they can't find her.
Chad, where are Lori's kids? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say?
4 were stabbed multiple times and were likely asleep during the attack. Some had defensive wounds.
Most of them had just like one that was the lethal stab wound.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Once I told a lie, and I told my family, I had to keep lying.
What's your name? Is it Dean?
We haven't cleared anybody.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here for another ATS News live stream. It's good to see everybody in chat. Hi, Diva Girl, Lady Sarah, Adrienne, Johnny. Good to see you. Yeah, let's unpack that is here. Mac J. I've got, of course, Jen Lou visiting with us today. And we're going to be discussing, of course, the new videos that have come out on Into the Weeds podcast. Shout out to them for allowing us to go through their work that they've done. And hey, Shay, good to see you. I've got their channel pinned to the chat, to the top of chat. So if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe to them. And yeah, we've got a video to go through. We're doing this video by video because I'm the type of person, and I know that Jen Lou and a lot of you guys are the same way. Like when I dig into a case that I'm really into, I kind of like dig deep in a way that like I don't want to just streamline the videos like and just sit here like watching it without like really focusing on each video, because I think that this whole new dump of videos is giving all of us a new perception of the case in general. So I just want to really make sure that like I spend the time watching this, because I haven't watched these, like I said, and now is the time, especially with Jen Lou here, because I was shouting you out in I think last stream, Jen, about your
so
deep
sweet.
dives and Melissa Jade's deep dives, and how we all had, I mean, I feel like you and Melissa were more on the same page than I was with you guys. Like even through modding her, Melissa Jade's deep dives on this case, I was very much like in my phase of this case where I believed the narrative from the state, from Gypsy, from the movie The Act. So that's where I came in, like into this. So I wasn't somebody who didn't know the case, but the angle that I knew it from was about to be turned upside down as we watched her first year after she was released from prison. And then
I've been waiting for this day.
you're like, step over it. And it's not even stepping into the dark side. It's like stepping away from the dark side.
Right. Stepping into the truth.
Yes. Like come over here, look at this from this angle. And the thing is too, is I was soaking it all in. Like I soak it in, and even through Melissa Jade reading through things. And then I really think that it came to reading through her text messages that I was like, okay, wait a minute. Like this, you know, and then watching her actions when she got released from prison and her going on this press tour and stating things that were different than stuff that I had just brushed up on, because I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm not seeing it the way that they are. So I would brush up on the interviews, the media stuff, the Dr. Phil, you know what I mean? And then when she did her new like media tour, I was like, wait, no, this isn't what she said. I just brushed up on that older interview and it was this statement. You know what I mean?
She's changed. She's since she's been at it. Okay, so it started with the prison confessions. That was her first thing that she did. And there were stories in there that she elaborated on, specifically regarding Dan, timelines of things that happened that I knew were wrong. And I knew were, frankly, lies. Wrong is me being kind. They were lies. She added
Mhm.
she added details, removed details, moved timelines around. For me personally, my side eye for Gypsy started with Mommy Dead and Dearest when she sat in that chair and she said, "It's gonna feel so good to be honest. I haven't been honest ever, except for with my lawyers. Even then, I haven't been honest with them." Like, I was done. I was like, "You're a fucking liar." And then from then on, I was skeptical about it. And the truth is, this is something that I think is really important to correct right from the very beginning. The narrative of the crime did not come from the state. The narrative of the crime came from Mike, um, her attorney. What is her attorney's name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Um, her defense attorney, what is his name? Stanfield. It came from Stanfield. He is the one that crafted the Munchausen syndrome by proxy. The state,
Mhm.
when they did their opening statement for Nick's trial, they just basically said he did it for Gypsy. And then they went on into what he actually did. So that whole Munchausen syndrome by proxy, that narrative came from Mike Stanfield, and I have to give it to him. He was young when as a young public defender, this was a huge case. It received a lot of attention,
Mhm.
and he buried the prosecution in paperwork. He buried them in medical files, and had they been able to read those medical reports, because all of the stuff that's coming out now is part of the original investigation. That's why we're able to have it. Nick
Mhm.
has exhausted all of his appeals, direct appeals at the state level. And so now all of that stuff is unsealed. So the prosecution had this stuff. They knew this stuff. They gave her a deal because, quite frankly, it's cheaper. It is cheaper to give them a plea deal. And I think that he was a little concerned because he didn't have Nick. If Nick would have had lawyers that he felt he could trust, and this is not the fault of Nick's first public defenders, well, the ones that represented him at trial. There was a contentious relationship. Nick just fundamentally just didn't trust them. Not for anything they actually did or didn't do, but he just didn't. And so he didn't really help himself, frankly, which is part of why I think he should get a new trial, only because I don't think that he was competent to stand trial in the fact that he could not assist in his own defense. I think if Nick had been another person, another type of person, and he would have rolled on Gypsy like most people would have, I think
Mhm.
we would be seeing a very different story right now. Okay, that's my soapbox. Let me get you.
Very interesting. No, I love that angle and the insight about, where the whole narrative of the Munchausen came from. That was a tough thing for me to really let go, like, my opinion on, even up
Mhm.
to a year ago. Even after being like, "Okay, yes, I'm on board with you guys in the theory that she had much more involvement in the crime itself, not even just the planning or, preparing or even buying the knife and all that, like, or stealing the knife." Um, and then it was like, well, I still think that there was a level of abuse going on. But now it's like, I'm willing to even just let go of all that too and be like, yeah, I mean, I especially after seeing the glimpse of these videos. So let me just read this New York Post
Yes.
article that came out this week because Into the Weeds podcast is mentioned in it. And this is honestly a whole new insight and view and angle, and it doesn't matter where your opinions are on this case. I think that these videos are definitely a must see, like if you're
Mhm.
somebody who likes true crime and you want to study true crime and this case specifically, like watch these videos, because just like the Watts case, and I've watched all Shanann's videos, like in other cases where there's been videos, and that Mackenzie Shrilla, I believe her
Mhm.
name is. Melly's been going through all her stuff, and like it's like I can't look away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when there's the social media files and all that.
At least, I mean, regardless of how you view this case, at the end of the day, these videos are part of the case. This isn't,
Mhm.
you know, her having served her time and the ridiculous bullshit she pulls on the tickety talks. This is part of the case file. And I'm always interested to watch these and watch with you, Amber, Melissa Jade, Allie, everybody. And I'm really curious to watch the chat because people pick up on different things. This case is very nuanced, and these videos are nuanced as well. And so I'm very, very excited to be going over this with you. And I think that I'm so proud of not just Into the Weeds podcast, although they're the they worked with other creators as well. It was Into the Weeds podcast, 80s millennial, 1980 millennial, Hello Starlight, plus all of their subscribers. This was a huge undertaking, and it is so difficult for YouTube true crime to get to mainstream media. The fact of the matter is this narrative of the Munchausen syndrome by proxy was copy pasted from documentary to special to documentary to special over and Becca Scoops, yes,
Mhm.
Velveteen, I'm sorry, I forgot. Thank you. Over and over and over and over. And now people are starting to see, okay, wait a minute, this might not be it. In fact, this is very important, and I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to let Amber Reed do what she needs to do because I don't want to forget this, and I know I will. If you go back and you watch the Mommy Dead and Dearest, okay, and they're going to show Gypsy's interrogation video in the title card prior to showing the interrogation video. They have Gypsy's age as 19. That is what Gypsy said she was in that interrogation video. But by the time that documentary came out, they knew her age. She was 23, almost 24 years old. And I think
Wow.
it's incorrigible
Mhm.
that they left her age in there as if it's unknown, as if they don't know how old she is.
And it's like, was that on purpose?
I'm okay. I like Erin Carr. I have a hard. This is real hard for me because she's done some fantastic documentaries since Mommy Dead and Dearest. I sometimes wonder if part of the reason that she was given the unprecedented access that she was given is because they wanted the story to be told a certain way. The only person that
Yes.
benefited from the story being told the way it was told was Gypsy. The fact of the matter is that show premiered and then in 2017, and then Nick's trial happened in 2019. No. Is
Mhm.
that right? Hold on. Let me look and see when Mommy Dead and Dearest was. I know Nick's trial was in 2019. Hold on. Here we go. Yeah, 2017. 2017.
So, I mean, it's purposely placed, you could argue, perhaps.
Perhaps. Perhaps. Perhaps. You know, I mean, those documentarians had the producers had access to things like Gypsy's medical records. They had access to the entire interrogation video, particularly the first, hours when she's a whole tour guide, okay, telling that officer, how to get the best deal on a vacation at Disney World, where to stay, giving him the rundown of the whole Harry Potter thing at Universal, and then at the very end when she's like, "I want a lawyer."
Yeah. Classic.
She's like 30. Let me see how old she is today. She was born July something 1991. Hold on, I'll tell you how old she is. Let me see.
34?
Yeah, 34, something like that. Let me see. Yeah, she was born July 27th, 1991. She's
Yeah, I mean,
34 years old.
very easy to see what her age would have been. Like that's
Absolutely.
simple stuff for a documentary.
Exactly. And you and I mean, that's verifiable. And the fact of the matter is, and this is what I find hilarious, the one place that had her freaking birth date correct was a hospital. The hospital band had her name and age, or her birth date, excuse me, correct. Like,
Yeah,
supposedly, yeah,
and
Dana's
that's a
doing all
huge
the things.
thing in the whole case is
Yes,
her age and it
yes,
being wishy-washy.
correct. Her age
So
and manipulating the hospitals. Yet here we go
now
at the hospital in Waukesha has her date of birth correct.
Lord.
All right.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't
So
that's very interesting and noteworthy, like hard for me to believe that it wasn't done purposefully, but again, I'm somebody who's like, okay, settle
well, I
down,
mean, yeah, no, I mean, here's the
maybe.
thing, Amber, it probably was done purposefully. When I make a documentary, when I make a video, I'm not going to go so far as to say documentary, but when I make a video, and you do too, you have a story that you want to tell, right? You have facts, you put the facts in order that the events happen, blah, 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 bing, bang, boom, you have a documentary, right? But you have a view, you have an idea of how you want the documentary to go. Erin Carr is no different. She had an idea of how she wanted the documentary to go. I think it's just you very rarely get you get documentarians like Joe Berlinger and Bruce Sanofsky who go there to film a documentary with an idea in mind about the guilt or the innocence, which they believed the West Memphis Three when they went there. They thought they were going to document basically the youth gone wild. They thought they were guilty. And the more they filmed and the more they looked into things, they found that wasn't the case. And the documentary changed, right? It's sad that it didn't happen that way with this one.
That was a lie.
Yes, that was a lie.
Gotta have our Maury in there for Gypsy
Always.
Rose live streams, for Nicole Kessinger live
Ugh,
streams. Now we got it
another
for
one.
Lauren Matthias.
Oh God.
Enough said there. But okay, so this came out this week regarding these videos. Let's see what it
Okay.
had to say.
All right.
More than 100 unseen videos from an
You're not
infamous.
did you want to
Oh,
share it, babe?
yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I probably got you all like distracted because I talk so damn much. All right, let me mute.
You're good. I'm also thinking there was something. Oh, yeah. So the thing too is with all the cases that we go through and we talk through, like between your channel, my channel, Alex Erickson, like at times we're covering all different cases. It's very rare also to look at one that is a daughter who kills the mother.
Yes. That doesn't
So
usually,
that's what makes this case even more like, and these videos even more interesting to me.
but is it really that rare? Because think about it. Who's that girl that is on death row right now? They just Pierce Morgan did um a special on her years ago. She was a teenager. She was in love with a guy. Mom and dad were like, no. And she had her parents murdered. The guy did the dirty work. Like, that's not all that rare. And
Yeah,
that's
but I mean,
on
for us to kind of like, I know the case you're talking about, but I can't even name her name. Like, I just
something,
feel like
it's
this
Aaron McCarthy.
was there like
That's
an argument about a cell phone or something involved in that? Or there
not,
was like
I
a
don't,
gun was a gunshot
I thought that,
or
no, I think they
stabbing?
used a sword. It was a sword.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was a
Killed
stabbing.
everybody in the home, but the father survived.
I just feel like the daughter to mother
Let
thing,
me look.
like this
Go
case
Google.
is like unlike some it's just like the perfect storm of things, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Which is what has made the lines so blurred too, and the opinions of it so different, and for some reason, her being out and deciding to be so much on social media and putting herself out there, like people started to see, she started to rub people the wrong way, even people who didn't really know much about her case. Did you notice that too? Like the public opinion of her was just like not good after probably 6 months of her release.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, Erin Caffey, that's her name, Erin Caffey. I knew it was Erin Caffey.
Very interesting. And that's the thing too, is that was a stabbing also.
Yes.
So
And
very
I mean, like,
interesting.
it was
That's
bad.
oof.
It was bad.
And it sounds like Dee Dee's, of course, was bad too. So the video that we're gonna watch tonight is their trip to Cape Cod. So I'm interested to see, like, of course, I've flipped through with my mouse and stuff and like looked a little bit, and I wanted to pull up what she had stated about her Cape Cod trip and her interrogation. It's only like a couple minutes. So we'll do that first. So
Okay.
more than 100 unseen videos from the infamous U.S. murder case have been released under a new Freedom of Information Act access request. Gypsy Rose Blanchard spent 7 years in prison after pleading guilty to second-degree murder in 2026 for assisting her then-boyfriend Nicholas Godejohn to murder her mother Claudine Dee Dee Blanchard. Godejohn was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison after stabbing the 48-year-old to death in her bedroom. Despite the fact Gypsy was released in December 2023, I can't believe it's been that long already. And she has since gone to have a child of her own. This case continues to grip the world. The morbid fascination with the murder lies in its truly bizarre twists and turns, which experts have described as a disturbing and complex narrative where the lines between victim and perpetrator are blurred. See, I don't even see it that way as much anymore. Like,
Yeah.
who's the now I'm wondering, because there's so many people like talking about Dee Dee and like Gypsy abusing Dee Dee. I'm like, so wait, who is really the victim here? Like during the relationship that Dee Dee was alive, you know what I mean? Like,
I
and
think that it ebbed and waned. I think that I think that it is abusive to teach your children that it's okay to steal.
yes,
I
yes,
think that's, I think that can be considered abusive. But what I think really happened is I think, unfortunately, Dee Dee raised her killer. I think
mhm,
that there is a component that exists in Gypsy that is not nature or nurture. I think it's both together. I
mhm,
think that Gypsy has a personality disorder. If I had to guess, and I'm not diagnosing her, I would say she got some cluster Bs up in there. One of the cluster Bs, all the cluster Bs, a combo of Bs. I don't know. Something ain't right personality wise.
mhm,
And I think that it was also the way that she was raised. I think that Dee Dee was definitely a helicopter mom. See, I'm not read. I will say, and I've always said that Dee Dee is the ultimate victim. She is the one who lost her life in this, and it was in a
mhm.
brutal, brutal way. But I also want it to be clear, Dee Dee was not a saint, okay?
Right.
And I would not go so far, to now that these videos have confirmed already what I've been saying for a long time. But anyway, I don't think the pendulum for me and my brain would sway completely the other way.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
know what I mean?
Ellen.
I think it's the truth is in the middle somewhere.
I think so too. And is this the necklace that she was wearing during her autopsy? Because remember, that was another thing that came
Oh.
out, is like that her, the details of all that last year. We all were combing through the autopsy stuff, and it stated that she was wearing a crucifix.
No, because
And
that's
then
just
everyone
a
started
cross.
saying, like, wait a minute, I thought that she was into voodoo, and to talk about her being the true victim. And of course, I agree with that. But I also think it's interesting that like the way that the media has really like portrayed this case from the start was that almost Dee Dee deserved it.
They made her a unsympathetic victim, and they made her a villain and basically like Dee Dee asked for it. And the
Yes.
fact of the matter is, even if Gypsy was always telling 100% of the truth and everything that she said happened exactly like she said, the fact of the matter is, if Dee Dee had not been murdered and she'd been charged with all the crimes that Gypsy claims that she perpetrated, Dee Dee would have served prison time, probably around the same amount of prison time that Gypsy ended up getting. That's how much she
Mhm.
probably would have served. 10 years, not the 8.5. I think Dee Dee would have gotten like her sentenced to more time, but I think she would have gotten out after about 10 years. Okay. And the fact of the matter is that none of the things that Gypsy is alleging are capital crimes in the United States of America, and therefore they're not punishable by death.
Right.
And
Sorry.
if this was a it's not self-defense if you fucking get a sorry, Amber, I'm so sorry, that's so rude. It's not self-defense if you hire a dadgum hitman.
Right. Literally. And you steal the murder weapon.
Correct. And then you steal the money,
Yeah.
you know?
Wow. It's so yeah, the details of it all, like, when you really go through the little details too, like, it doesn't even have to be the main points, like, when you're like I said, it could be a text message that I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, I didn't know that was stated," you know what I mean? Like, those are
Yeah,
the types and I think that these videos, like, it definitely the last one we watched with Demona, like, I was like, where is it's hard to kind of fit in this whole, like, "She never let me do
right.
anything," and
When
y
she's doing
yeah,
all of this loud and proud in the living room, in the middle
right.
of the day.
Yes, yes, that's the other things too. Yeah, that's the thing is I can't wait to watch this video too because I'm like, like, the real dynamic between them, especially since she mentions Cape Cod in her, interrogation. So it says Gypsy's motive for convincing Godejohn, who she met online 3 years before the murder to kill her mom, was because she wanted to escape her. Dee Dee had abused her daughter for 8 years by convincing Gypsy and the public that her daughter was extremely sick when she wasn't. It was this apparent case of Munchausen by proxy syndrome, a rare form of abuse in which a guardian exaggerates or induces illness in a child for attention and sympathy that also explains the interest and mixed emotions that continue to surround the sorry story almost 10 years on. After leaving prison, Gypsy, now 34, was catapulted into the instant influencer status, amassing tens of millions of followers across TikTok and Instagram. But despite pulling back from social media, claiming the public scrutiny made her feel like she was in a different form of prison, discourse around the case is at an all time high after new videos were released. The clips released on YouTube by Into the Weeds podcast show alleged video messages and exchanges between Gypsy and Nick during the course of their online relationship. In one newly released video, Gypsy appears to be sat on the couch wearing a red strappy dress and a brown curly wig. She can be seen talking directly to Nick about their fantasy life together, in which she bizarrely describes him as a vampire and her wedding hopes. Gypsy also talks in great detail about how the pair are intertwined and makes graphic references to making love as a vampire and human, as well as master and slave. But things take a turn when she mentions the kids they may one day go on to have together. The plan for if we have a boy first, we're going to protect our children from the outside world because they can't know about you being a vampire, she states, according to the video. If we have a girl, the way it has to be, she has to lose her virginity to you because you are the master of the household. I will have to explain to her when she's at of an age where it's time to explain it, like not when she's 7, more like around 13. Other clips show Gypsy seemingly playing an array of characters, each differentiated by various wigs and filmed in a number of locations in the house where the pair would later go on to murder her mother. Social media has erupted at the clips, which have filled TikTok, and many describing the clips as unseen evidence from the case, which it is. This never before seen video, which according to the documents cost $786 to access, were accessed following a lengthy FOIA process with Missouri officials. Not all of the videos, of which there are more than 100 released, with a record custodian stating there are select videos that we are unable to release due to its non-consensual dissemination of private sexual images. That included imagery of intimate parts, pubic area, and partially exposed nipples. TikTok has exploded following the release of the footage, with many poring over the tiniest details, such as one noting Gypsy appeared to be wearing a hospital band in one clip. Before plotting her mother's death, Gypsy was confined to a wheelchair and survived on a feeding tube. She also had a long list of medical conditions, including chromosomal defects, muscular dystrophy, epilepsy, severe asthma, sleep apnea, and eye problems. So all that is they're claiming is confirmed has that all been confirmed in the medical records?
The chromosomal defect has, eye problems for sure. I don't think epilepsy, asthma, or sleep apnea, but here's the problem that I have. Yes, what she said in that video is salacious AF and disgusting. It's disturbing on every level. And maybe they'll go into it more. But the fact she wasn't surviving on a feeding tube. She wasn't confined to a wheelchair, and that is evident from those videos, number
Mhm.
1. And number
Mhm.
2, they failed to again address the fact that these videos are taken at various times of all during the day and night
Mhm.
with with bathroom doors open in the middle of the dadgum living room. Where is the helicopter mother that tied Gypsy to the bed with
Mhm.
handcuffs and a GD dog leash? Where's she at?
Mhm.
And they don't address that. Hey, Into the Weeds podcast. Good to see you, babe. There's the girl, the
Hello.
woman, the myth, the legend that put in all the work. Thank you for this. I need to email you again. I got to ask you something.
And
They're
and
failing.
I absolutely agree, and I was as I'm reading this, I'm like, we're just going over the narrative.
Exactly, with you slightly changing it and making it alleged.
Just
There's
talking about
nothing
new
alleged
videos.
about this.
Yeah, I
These
know.
videos are not what's taking place
Did
in
you
these
see
alleged they're
they
from a
even put,
FOIA request,
they
for the
even
love
put
of
the
Pete.
new evidence in quotes.
Yes.
It's like,
Never
it's like,
before
no,
seen.
it is.
Okay, technically, it's not never before seen because Gypsy has seen them, Nick has seen them, their attorneys have seen them, and the defense team and the prosecutors. So
This.
technically, it's, you know, unseen evidence. It's unseen evidence for the public.
It is absolutely unseen evidence in this
To the
case. These
public.
are her conversations, these are her
Right.
videos with
To
the
to the
guy who you
public,
guys
though.
have sitting in
Right.
prison.
Right, but it's to the public. The prosecutors and the defense, they've had this stuff. This is
And I
why and the other thing is when they talk about Gypsy and her social media, okay, it isn't like Gypsy got out of prison and she created her TikTok account and she created an Instagram account and then all on her own
got
she had
catapulted.
followers.
Yeah.
That's not how that happened. She had a friend in prison. This person has come out. They've talked about it. They've had a falling out, blah, 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 whatever, whatever, right? And
Mhm.
that girl helped her amass these followers over the years. She cultivated, curated that social media for her. And
I know, and the
just
way that they
there's
have this
still
worded, like, the way that they're saying, like, "Oh, TikTok," and many are describing it as, and then quotes, like, unseen
right,
evidence as if it's not, it's like you're trying to discredit the fact that these were things that the law enforcement were looking through and
right.
combing through as part of, Dee Dee's murder. You know what I mean? This is
Exactly,
a
and then
murder
saying
case.
yeah, and there are facts that have come out because of people's hard work, not the mainstream media at New York Post. I'm looking at you. This stuff would have
Mhm.
been way cheaper for you to get, but no. Leave it to the YouTube true crime content creators who you guys bash on the regular,
Yeah.
calling us online sleuths in that really condescending tone because we don't you don't think some of us have any type of degrees or anything, whatever.
Because
let it
we
go
don't
for
parrot
now.
the narrative that
Right.
mainstream media will parrot when they cover these trials.
Right, because we're not gonna let you spoon feed the public. The fact of
Mhm.
the matter is there are details that the mainstream media has known for years, probably longer than the public has known, because they've had access to things that we didn't get access to. Facts, that's just the way that it is. And there are
Mhm.
things that you guys had for that interrogation video. It that the mainstream media had the full interrogation video for years, and yet every single one of them they made a decision, a concerted effort to show the same parts over and over and over again. Do you know what would happen to us on YouTube if we did that? You know what we'd get? We would get
Reused content
reused
flag.
content and demonetized, okay?
Look at
Like,
this
get
next part.
bent.
Look at this next part. But during Gypsy's court case, it emerged Dee Dee forced her to take medication that she didn't need and undergo medical procedures that were not necessary. And now this is all in quotes. So is that Gypsy's quotes?
Somebody said
Or
it, but I mean, I the only person that I can really remember saying that is Mike Stanfield, her attorney, because the fact of the matter is Gypsy, when she was, in the interrogation room, we all saw it. There's a chunk of time where she's missing from the interrogation room because she's at the hospital. They drew her blood. They ran a battery of tests. Look at if you don't believe me, if you don't believe me, and listen, don't believe me. Please don't believe me. Go do your own research. The crime scene photos are out there. Look
Mhm.
at the crime scene evidence photos that were of the items that were collected from Nick Godejohn's home. These are the items that that Gypsy packed with her to take to from Missouri to Wisconsin. Let me tell you, just spoiler alert, and you can go check for yourself. I encourage you to do this. Let me tell you what she brought with her in the form of medication: antihistamines, allergy medicine, over the counter allergy medicine,
Mhm.
Xanax in Dee Dee's name, hydrocodone in Dee Dee's name. That is what she brought. That's it. For a girl who didn't know that all of a sudden it wasn't until she was in jail awaiting trial and her lawyer told her that she didn't have cancer, she didn't have this, she didn't have that, she's perfectly healthy. It's bullshit. And they're still
Yeah.
spewing that. And
And
none
like
of
I
the
said,
medications caused Gypsy's teeth to fall out either. She also had an education higher than kindergarten. She was in private Catholic school for years.
she speaks pretty well in these videos. Another thing I noticed.
She's literate. How many
Yes.
kindergartners didn't go high? They can read simple books, for the love of Pete. I suppose you
Yeah.
could. Come on,
And
Rod.
hello, Roxanne and Adrian. Thank you for the PayPal. I wanted to make sure I thanked you. So, and Unsolved Amy is here also. Good to see you. I know. I think that look at I'm going to read. I know we're
Oh
going to get
God, it's
annoyed
gonna
too.
interfere. Let me. Okay, I'm getting yelly. I can hear it. I
You're
can feel
fine.
it.
I knew it was going to happen once we read through. As soon as I started reading this, I was like,
Okay, I'm gonna.
And
I'm
the
gonna.
only
I'm
the
gonna have a
only
cig.
thing that I can say, yes, light them if you got them. The only thing I can say that at least they, plugged into the Weeds podcast, because that
Yes,
gives me
yes.
hope that
That
people will, you know what, fine, let me hop over and let me see what this channel who uncovered these videos is saying.
yes.
And
I
then they're gonna start to,
appreciate. Yes. Yes.
because at least
Thank
it's
you,
like,
Amber, for being half full. That is what I love about you. You're half full. That is the bright spot. Hopefully, what this will do is it will encourage people who followed this case, or they followed it and thought they knew, and then they're like, oh, I wonder, and then they see this, it pops up,
mhm,
and they're like, huh, I wonder what happened there. And they click the videos, because that's the bright spot in this whole thing. Because the rest of this article, I am going to give it a 0 out of 10, would not recommend.
I know.
New
And like,
York
look, it says the
Post.
medication caused Gypsy's teeth to fall out while her education never went higher than a kindergarten student. Prosecutor Dan Patterson acknowledged the abuse after offering Blanchard, then 24, a plea deal. When you look at this case, it's a murder and it's first degree murder, Patterson said at the time. But then look, what have you ever heard anybody say?
But
Anything that people say before the word but is like null and void, right?
right,
Then goes on,
usually.
but it also is one of the most extraordinary, unusual cases we've ever seen. Right. I mean, that is absolutely true, but is it
Still first degree murder.
yeah. Somebody
It's
still
still
got stabbed how many times? Somebody in chat might know.
17.
7 I
17.
mean, prior to her
17
brutal
times.
death, yes, it was brutal. Dee Dee, a single mom, appeared every part of the doting mother. As a full-time career to or carrier to Gypsy, her only child with ex Rod Blanchard, she seemingly did everything for. She describes their bond as perfect. Gypsy herself once compared the relationship to a pair of shoes because they were never good without the other. In between hospital visits, Gypsy and Dee Dee would fly across the country to concerts, galas, celebrity greet and meets, and even Disney World with expenses paid by charity organizations. But Dee Dee had fabricated all her daughter's medical issues. And here it is stating that as a fact, too.
Right. There are issues. A chromosomal deletion is not like a small thing. Okay, your chromosomes are what make you you. So
Mhm.
it's a problem and it can cause other things. I'm so infuriated by this. Let me go have a cigarette and let you, in your lovely reading voice, read this because I'm going to erupt and act a straight fool. So let
I
me
could
just
read it in
excuse
Gypsy's voice. No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
do it. It just practice because you know she'd say that wrong. You know
Yes.
she'd read that as it just progress fucking gypsy. I can't stand her. All right, I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh. In fact, Gypsy later revealed the only thing I had wrong with me is that I have a little bit of a lazy eye. What? That's the only thing Gypsy's claiming that she is wrong with. Oh, honey. No, no, no. In fact, it's so much deeper than I think any of us even can really say. During an interview, blah, blah, blah. As a baby, Gypsy led a relatively normal existence, but despite being a vibrant toddler who was full of energy, Dee Dee soon began saying that Gypsy was sick and had problems sleeping, Rod told 2020. It just progressed from there. After the couple split, Rod said he continued to visit Gypsy, but was never able to spend alone time with his daughter. All the visits, Dee Dee had to be there the whole time, he recalled. Something never felt right about it. Dee Dee was so controlling. By the time Gypsy was 8 years old, Rod had been told, okay, we already know like all this. I just kind of wanted to see what it had to say about the videos. Let me just scroll down. Nick saying that he connected instantly with her. I mean, how could you not? Look at this. Not creepy at all. Okay, that's pretty much the article. Again, pushing the narrative that we've been hearing from, the authorities, from media. But unfortunately, it seems like we've come up with a different tone of what we view this case as kind of being. In the truth lies somewhere in between what the media has said and what we've kind of uncovered on the various channels that I've stated that I would definitely follow to get your opinion on this case. Again, we are not going to watch this because we've already watched and broken it down on our Gypsyrose playlist. But I do want to revisit her statements regarding her trip to Cape Cod because that's kind of where we're going to watch her and her mother's trip tonight. So I just want to get a little bit of background information from that subject. And it comes from her conversation with the law enforcement after they discovered her mother's body, pretty much. So I believe the Cape Cod trip was a year before the murder. So let's hear what Gypsy had to say about Cape Cod before we switch it to the video from Into the Weeds podcast of their little it's like a vlog, I think, of their vacation together.
Yeah. Well, I've only been trawling once.
Okay, how was it?
Not fun.
Not fun?
Not fun. Not for me. I don't like the smell.
Oh, was it smelly?
It was. Smelly and sweaty.
Can imagine. Probably hard work too.
My mom did more work. I was only like about 5 at the time.
Okay,
So
you just got to hang out and watch.
yeah, I just got to hang out and watch my grandfather do it.
Okay, very cool.
I'm not from New Orleans. I'm from a very, very small town in the southest part of South. It's Golden Meadow, Louisiana.
Golden Meadow.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's by Grand Isle.
Grand Isle. I'm trying to picture. I can't picture Grand Isle. You got any other big cities near it that I can try and picture?
The closest thing would be New Orleans.
But that's
Because it's like New Orleans is here, and there's a bunch of kind of like where Louisiana makes the boot shape, the tip of the boot.
okay. So
The
you're
very bottom of the boot.
okay.
She sure is well versed in geography for only having a kindergarten education. I'm telling you right now, I got a 4-year-old granddaughter, and she's just now learning where she lives, and she always gets the state and the city flipped. So, okay, I just want to, and she's
Right.
that's normal.
Knows her way around the US for somebody
Right.
who's in a wheelchair as well.
Right, right,
Like
right.
just able to go on this easy access to the whale watching she'll talk
Right.
about. It's just like,
It's not only a tour guide, and she can get you the best deals on a vacation at Disney World. She'll tell you exactly where to stay, how to get the best meals, how to get the VIP treatment and not pay a whole lot of money. And now she's a geography teacher. She's fantastic. I don't even know why I'm so angry with her, honestly. What's wrong
And-
with me? She's a
and-
gem.
think about it on a deeper note, like how her demeanor is like all chipper and like cheery.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like after knowing what we know and after we've seen the crime scene pictures at this point, you know what I mean? And know exactly what her and Nick's movements were after, leaving her house that night.
Because she thinks she's done. So here's the thing. For all the things that she tried to do, right? One of the things that she did not count on is them being able to recover those text messages. She didn't think that they would be able to, if they were deleted off the phone, they'd be deleted forever. She didn't think that they would look beyond the fact that she said, I mean, she laid all the groundwork for him to be set up for the murder and for him to
Mhm.
take the complete fall.
Yep.
She thought she was going to walk away scot-free. I don't think she definitely didn't count on and clearly she has never walked or watched any true crime in her life, not a Law and Order SVU unit, not original Law and Order, because had she would know, not a Criminal Minds episode, because she'd know that a innocent person who's just got swatted and brought in by the popo is going to be like, what in the actual F is going on? They're not going to be making small talk. They're going to be scared. And they should be. Anybody that gets hauled in like that to the cop shop should be scared. Not Gypsy. Oh,
Mhm.
no. She's making friends wherever she goes.
Yep.
Can't
It's chilling
stand
to
her.
watch.
It is.
Okay. It's all messed up.
You can't go swimming too much. Muddy water. You think it's the ocean. You think it's all clean and everything, but it's all swamps.
Quite the opposite, though.
I've only been to the ocean once.
Really?
And that was last year. My mom and I went to Cape Cod.
Vacations, you guys too.
Oh,
Florida for a month. Thank God.
and we went whale watching.
How's that?
Oh, we saw 9 humpback whales
9 of them all together?
all together.
That'd be pretty cool. They come up real close to the boat too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very close. One even lifted its flipper and it was like,
Really? Cape Cod. Did you go to South Africa too, or just pretty much Cape Cod in South Africa?
No, Cape Cod is in the U.S. It's in Massachusetts.
I think of that.
I'm sorry, that part always gets me.
Is he being real?
I think he's not being. I think
Okay.
he's actually. Yeah, I think
Okay.
he doesn't know. I feel bad. Look, I'm not making fun of him. I'm terrible at geography. You guys all know the story of how forever, because of the way that they show you maps when you're in school, I thought that Alaska was down there by Hawaii. And I could not understand for the life of me why Sarah Palin kept saying that she could see Russia, because I knew where Russia was for sure, right? And I was like, how can she see Russia if Alaska's down by Hawaii? And my brother, I said it to my brother-in-law, thank God it was him. And he said, Jen,
Oh my word.
that's that because Alaska's up there, they only show it to you like that in school because they don't have room on the map when they're trying to show you the United States.
And you would expect Gypsy to sort of be thinking that way too, but listen to her. You know, like
And
she's
here she
been
is.
around.
Yeah.
Schooling him.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Sandra said right. She didn't count on a lot. And I don't think she counted on these videos getting released either.
No, I think what she thought was gonna happen, you guys, is and the truth of the matter is, I think a lot of the reason why people I know for me personally, if I would have known and had been included, I would have kicked in on getting these videos as well. I would have
Oh yeah,
wanted to do the same thing because I on when she it was for after she got out, I wasn't gonna really cover anything, and I did cover a little bit of her, like, Love After Lockup or Life After Lockup or whatever the hell her show was, but I did watch Prison Confessions, and the fact of the matter is, it was that special or whatever you wanna call it, limited series, that made me, "Wait a minute, that" I already knew she was a liar, but I did not think that she would be like, I would have thought she retold her story so many times, I would have thought she would have remembered it better, and she didn't, and she slipped, and then she, expounded on old stories as well, and I think when that happened, and I think her behavior after getting out, I think look, we all know what Ryan was. Ryan was Nick. She didn't want to parole to Rod and Christy's house. She wanted her freedom. She wanted to do her own thing when she wanted to do it. Ryan was a means to an end the same way that Nick was. Nick, only the person she was obsessed over back then was Dan. The person she's obsessed over currently is Ken.
Right. It's the same pattern with her.
Ryan was a means to an end. You can see it clear as day when Chrissy tells her that Ken is single. Her face completely changes. It's an authentic moment. She's like, "Of course he is." The disappointment is all over her, and you can see that busted ass hamster wheel with that hamster with the bad knee. You can see it spinning.
Yeah.
How am I going to get out of this? And from that moment on, she picked fights. I'm not saying that Ryan is a peach. I couldn't even deal with him for a minute. He's
we all
annoying.
saw that go down.
Yeah, but she made that go down.
Yeah. Instigated,
staged, dramatized, all of it. And
then didn't want to let him go completely, even when she was with Ken.
She still wanted to he was going to be her just in case, because he's Ryan, and I hate to tell you this, and I know you've heard this 11 billion times, that let me make it be the 11 billion and one time that you've heard this. Bro, you are an all-day sucker, okay? That's what you are. She kept you on the back burner because she could, because you let her. Get you some self-respect and some self-esteem.
I know.
Get it together, bro.
Come on.
Ridiculous.
So I don't know how much further she talks of Cape Cod, but
it's just a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, and then we'll get to the little Cape Cod visit.
Now I know what you're talking about.
And never been out of the country.
Okay.
Sadly.
I'm trying to think of a little. I don't know. Pray for it. It's been a long time.
The giggling. And you still haven't been out of the country.
No. No, you can, yeah, whatever.
So this is their little trip. Gypsy and Dee Dee Blanchard go to Cape Cod. This obviously was
It's almost 2 years before the murder, because it's
okay.
2013.
Okay, so yes, it says date
Her
murder.
and Nick were, I think, when did they get together?
Then she just lied to the officer because she said we went to Cape Cod last year.
I mean, they might have gone again, but if I'm not mistaken, the Cape Cod trip is a medical conference. And it says date modified 7th, it says 7,
Yeah, it said 2013.
2013. So,
Well, she just lies anyways.
and that,
So.
yeah, she's just a lie. She lies to lie. And I want to say this to you guys too, because this is really important. Knowing how Gypsy grew up is important, particularly in
Mhm.
Louisiana. The fact of the matter is, Dee Dee bounced around between living with her mom and living with her father, with Gypsy. That's facts. Sometimes, and at one point they lived alone. But the bottom line is, she always had family around her, aunts and uncles. She was the only child. She was the only child of Dee Dee, who was the favorite child of Emma Petrie, her mother. Is there any rational thought behind thinking that that child didn't get her birthday celebrated and she knew how old she was?
Right.
Gypsy, stop playing with these people. You knew how old you were. You always knew how old you were.
But also Rod knew too. That's the other
Yes.
thing that I get confused about too. Like,
Okay, it's real easy if somebody tells you, if you don't really want to have anything to do with a child or a person, let's take a child out of it. Because a lot of people have a hard time grasping that concept, that because I do too. There's nothing that would make me not want to be around my kid. I don't know what, but let's be realistic about the situation.
mm-hmm.
Okay. He didn't want to have anything to do with Gypsy, and he didn't want to have anything to do with Dee Dee. And that's just the way that it was. Good,
Mhm.
bad, or indifferent. That's how it was. We have to deal with what is.
And
If
he
you
openly admits it.
Right. In his own way. And the fact of them, if you don't want to be around somebody, and you call every once in a while, and the mom says you can't talk right now, or if you take Gypsy, I need to be there, or whatever. Do you care? No, you don't care. He didn't care. He
Right.
didn't care. If he cared, he would have been like, wait a minute. What do you mean? How are you telling me that Gypsy doesn't know how old she is? Like, you only get away with doing that by lying, by telling that to somebody who doesn't have any contact with his kid.
Right.
Period.
To determine that was a lie.
He sent her a check every month, and that was that. He didn't,
Mm-hmm. Yep. It is what it is.
I'm sure he regrets it now. He was young. I mean, I'm not like,
That's the thing. He was
he's not a
young.
monster. I'm not calling him a monster. I'm not even judging him. I'm just telling you how it was.
Yeah.
You
That's the
know?
whole thing, is like this case. Listen, there's so many layers. Like I said earlier, it's like the perfect storm from all angles in a way.
Right. And people, I think, need to stop like sugarcoating the truth of the matter. The
Yeah.
facts are just the facts. I'm not judging Rod. I'm not judging Chrissy. I don't know what I would do in their shoes. I have no idea. I'm not in their shoes.
It
I'm
just
not
is what it
judging that.
is.
I'm just it just is what it is. It's like me saying, that the sky is blue. It's blue. You can't, I'm not saying it's a pretty shade of blue, or I don't like blue or anything. I'm just letting you know the fact that the
Mhm.
sky is blue.
And it's noted.
Moving on.
Here we go. Cape
We
Cod
go.
trip. Oh. The giggle.
Whoa, look at you. Ooh, pirated. So we are at the Springfield National Airport waiting for our plane to arrive to take off. It's not here yet, but it is a beautiful sunrise. Our flight leaves at 9:40, so we are up really early. Is our airport very nice. And we will be back with more after this.
But you'll notice who the documentarian is. It's not Dee Dee.
Yeah, and she's
It's Gypsy, and Gypsy's not acting like she is mentally incompetent.
yes, she's handling the camera well. She's zooming. She's getting the, it's like she's
Correct.
using proper English.
Correct.
Someone who
So
never
who
went.
was really the prop? Was she really a prop? If you're a mother who is, if everything they say about Dee Dee is true, right? All the allegations, and Gypsy was a prop, a means to an end to get financial gain, right? And
Mhm.
attention. Wouldn't you be the one filming your daughter?
Yeah,
Wouldn't
and
you be
you
the
would,
one coaching?
yeah, and Gypsy would be sitting there mute or whatever. You
Correct.
know what I mean?
Wouldn't you be in the director's seat? No, no, no. Gypsy's in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, and it seems from what I've seen of like me flipping through with my mouse in this, like she remains sort of like
Yeah.
the leader of the two. I don't know. I want to get a full, but from what I've looked through, I'm like, okay, this doesn't look like it's Dee Dee saying like, now do this, or,
Right. Right. It doesn't look like what we would expect. And like go look on YouTube and look at the family bloggers. Watch
right.
those.
The kids are
The
always
kids,
miserable.
the kids are well, they are always miserable, but it's the
The
kids are
parents
being
are
directed by the
narrating. Yeah.
parents.
Yeah.
And Gypsy is the one in charge in this. And I think people like just let me be quiet. Let's play it.
She seems to always be the one in charge in her relationships.
Yeah.
But I think Ken might be a little different on some levels.
I think Ken does check her.
Yeah. Okay, it does look like a conference, like you said.
Yeah. Okay, I know what this is. This is obviously I can read and so can you guys. This is the Oli conference. If I remember correctly, this is about feeding issues. Let me make sure I read this. This is something that they won. They won this trip to the Oli Foundation. Hold on a second. I'll tell you exactly what it is. Yes, the purpose of the Oli Foundation is to enrich the lives of those living with home IV nutrition or tube feeding through advocacy, education, community, and innovation.
And she did misspell conference, but she can edit, clearly.
Clearly, she can edit.
ISO 80369 series, it's just that. It's a series. It's not just enroll. It's something that we're pushing in lieu of these other groups.
Misspelled
we're moving
research.
forward as well, and we're making sure in lockstep that we're not putting forth combinations of connections.
But there are people that are
are
high school educated that are terrible spellers.
Like
so that
me.
yeah, I look.
Some college I put down.
Sometimes people we misspell stuff. It is what it is.
Yeah, if I didn't have autocorrect, I'd be screwed.
Right. Sometimes I forget. Look, I'm almost 50 years old. Cut me some slack. I'm going to be forgetting some stuff. But you see, once again, I forgot. That's right. Misbehaving is right. This is not the year they won. They did win 1 year.
So they collected. See, this is the other thing too that I need to keep sort of the same. I have had the same views since the beginning of my research in this case, like before I changed my views on other aspects. And plus her criminal record kind of speaks for itself. Like Dee Dee was scamming. Like we
Yeah.
can't. But there's people out there, that dispute even that now, and I'm just like, oh, okay, listen, everyone's got their own opinion, but there is a criminal record of like fake checks and
But
stuff
what
like
do you
that.
do as a parent? Okay. If your kid absolutely refuses to eat. So we
Right.
don't know the circumstances and the
Exactly.
situation behind some of
Yeah.
these things.
Right. That's so true because like, listen, was because of the stuff that she did have, you know what I mean? Like
Correct.
that's where but then yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So the truth of the matter is, and this is why I hesitate to speak on the medical aspect of it. Only the things that I know for facts. Until I have an opportunity to look at the medical records for myself and read them with my own ojos, I'm not going to take somebody else's word for it. I
I
know that
agree.
they're out there. I know that they've been shown. I just need an opportunity to look at them because I was just going to walk away from this stuff after Gypsy got out because I was like, let her do her. My daughter's calling. Hold on a second, you guys.
No
Well,
worries.
you're
Do what you
running
gotta
the show.
do.
Okay.
The Cape Cod Resort and Spa, and we are going to tour around. See, look how pretty the shells are. The light.
And I guess, even though Jen's on the phone, I also want to add, like, they collected funds, and I guess we also have to say, like, without knowing the whole situation, does that mean that they scammed to get this trip, or does that just mean that they, got crowdsourcing and she actually needed to be on this trip? You know what I mean? So certain things, it's like there is blurred lines when it comes to anything medical, and I agree with Jen, like um go listening to other people's research isn't the same as people like Jen and I like kind of combing through it ourselves. So I totally understand her wanting to read stuff herself. Okay, they did a GoFundMe. And so yeah, I guess we can't chalk this up as being like, oh, a trip that was, a scamming trip, like other things that have been portrayed as that. So just noted.
And the housekeeping part. Wait till he finds it.
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to Barnstable Harbor. We are about to go whale watching. Look at the beautiful beach and some boats. And we will be back with more. Bye.
House received a makeover, and the Lantern House atop this light station was fully restored
Thank you, Mr.
to its
Haven.
original specifications, with one major exception. 150 years ago, this lighthouse would have been burning whale oil, and today the light up there is solar powered, which is infinitely better for whales and whale watchers. This lighthouse had lain in disuse for many years, since 1932 to be exact, when it was decommissioned by the United States Coast Guard because it stopped doing what a lighthouse is supposed to do. By definition.
Shay says she needs another cocktail because that's what Gypsy's voice does. She drives people to to keep drinking. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
But did you hear? Well, you were probably on the phone.
No, I could hear. I had one. I had my. Yeah, I could. Yeah.
And it's just noteworthy because it's like some people will look at this trip and be like, oh, well, they scammed to go on vacation. And then now I'm to the point where like I'll look at this trip and I'll be like, well, was this related to the micro deletion or like the food aversions? And they didn't scam. They actually did a GoFundMe because it was somewhere that they wanted to be because of real medical stuff. You know what I mean?
Right,
It was
exactly, exactly,
justified.
exactly. Like, I think that, I think that there is I I think when it comes to this situation, because the other component to all of this is dead. Her voice was taken from her, and I wonder if Dee Dee was alive and she had been, like, it let's say everything Gypsy said was true and Gypsy chose a different route and she chose to get her mom arrested, right?
Mhm.
She chose to speak out. I'm just really curious what Dee Dee's, version of events would have been.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And if this video was presented as some form of evidence for even Dee Dee's defense to be like, well, it looks like you guys were happy together.
Dee Dee's voice was taken from her. She can't talk. She can't say her side of the story. For decades, it's been Gypsy's version of events. My mom forced me to do this. My
Yeah.
mom forced me to do that. And what I'm saying is we don't know the truth of any of it
Right.
because we can't hear Dee Dee's side of the story. Do you see what I mean?
Right. So if
I'm
it was
talking to
like,
misbehaving.
oh, okay. Yeah. 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 Because okay. I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
comment.
yeah.
Yeah. So like say it was
Yeah,
Munchausen.
babe. Yeah, I think she thought I was saying Gypsy. Hell no,
Oh
Gypsy been
no.
using her voice. Gypsy needs to shut the fuck
Too
up.
much. Yeah. We could only pray. We could
That's
only
why
hope and pray.
that's why people are looking into you, Gypsy. The thing of it is, lady, it's all you. It is your words, your behavior, your actions that people are like, "Huh, that don't sound right. Let me look into it."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful looks at the second largest animal ever.
And I have to know also, like, she's got the freedom. Like, it's not like the overbearingness that they kind of portray in like the act and stuff, where Dee
Yeah.
Dee got her hand on the wheelchair and leaning in, like, wouldn't
Yeah.
let Gypsy breathe. It's like it doesn't seem that way.
No, it's not. Just Jess. So when you want to tag somebody, you type the @ symbol and then you type whatever name it is that you want, but you have to type it exactly as it is in the chat. So like if I wanted
Yes.
to @ you, I would write the @ sign, and then I would use capital J, and then I'd spell out your name _7. You have to type it exactly as you see it in the chat or it won't tag. And
Mhm.
you won't see the tag. The only the person that you tagged will see the tag. Yeah. Okay.
So we are heading down historic Main Street in Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Notice what
We
she writes,
are window
strolling.
shopping.
Window shopping. How nice for you, Gypsy. Fuck
Strolling
off.
like a
Strolling.
stroller.
Yeah. Lord.
Yeah, I mean,
Which, I mean, she used it correctly, but if you, oh, fuck off, Gypsy. Like, you could, it just, I don't know. I'm annoyed because you can tell that Gypsy's running the show,
well,
not
do you
Dee Dee.
stroll when you're in a wheelchair?
I think I don't know if you stroll. That was really what I was going for, but then I felt like I was being too mean.
It probably is, but the
So
only reason why it's, like, not is we know that she doesn't need it. So
correct,
I hope that can
correct.
kinda differentiate, like, maybe
Yeah,
some
but you know
crest.
how people on the tubes keep
You
getting
know it, you know
I
it.
know.
But either way, she didn't need the wheelchair, we all know that.
Yeah, she didn't. She at all.
And yep, we are just looking around, buying some souvenirs. Very nice stuff. Okay, we're heading in the store now. Bye. We are continuing to stroll down Main Street.
We went to the JFK Museum.
Yes, we went to the JFK Museum. That was a lot of fun.
I've actually been to that JFK museum. It is really cool. But I mean, I don't know. Hearing Dee Dee's voice, we never I mean,
Right.
we never hear it.
How old do you think Gypsy is in this film, in this video?
Like, how old does she sound or how old like
How old
it's
is she
hard.
acting? She's never gonna sound her age
Okay,
because she's
yeah.
got that high-pitched voice, but how old does
Like
her language
14.
she's 22 years old. In
I mean,
2013, she was 22 years old.
and it's to the point where it's like, were there conversations from Gypsy to Dee Dee that were like, "But mom, we might get more funds if I'm, like, in the wheelchair in this picture, or if I shave my head." Like, is that what I have to kind of think might have taken place at this point in, like, the research of the case?
I mean,
Knowing the age, I'm saying.
I think Gypsy was completely complicit, and I think what happened is as she got older, I think, some of it flipped, and the power dynamic flipped, and I think she told her mom, "You're gonna do what I want, and do what I say. I'm running the show now because without me, there is nothing.
Right.
You'll go down for all of this." The
He
truth of
knew
the
that
matter
Dee Dee was sort of dependent on
Correct,
the
correct.
facade.
Correct. If there was even I mean, we know that there was some level of a facade going on, okay?
Mhm.
What that level is, like, let me really I know that there's places where I can see the medical records. Let me go and look at the medical records, and then we'll revisit all of this.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, that's just a layer in this whole onion.
Yeah, and I think because that's gonna make a difference too.
Yes. Now, do the medical records have any, like, cognitive, like an IQ test or anything like that? Probably not.
I'm not sure, I'd have to look into it.
Or even, like, do we even know if she had one done? Probably not, because the plea deal, it didn't go in that angle.
Having what done, babe?
Like an IQ test?
Well, no, I think that they left I mean, though, they're gonna give her like, she would have been evaluated for competency, but that bar is very low, right? To competent
Mhm.
to stand trial. Um, but I would I think that if she was found competent to stand trial, so I don't think any further testing then would be given. Do you know what I mean? And I don't
Right.
think that was the angle. The angle that Mike Stanfield was going through for was all of this was unnecessary. She didn't need any of it.
Right.
That everything that was done to her was completely medically unnecessary. The
Mhm.
fact is, when you look at, Munchausen syndrome by proxy, which it's not called that anymore, it's called, fa fa
Fictitious
yeah,
or something?
factitious disorder of another. Um, but if you look at that and you look at the case studies, those children don't usually make it past 12 years old because they
Mhm.
keep their children sick. See, what's missing from all of this is taking your child and having them, because some of the stuff that I have read were tests. Taking your child for tests is very different than doing something to actually make your child sick, like the mother who was
Yes. Yes,
injecting
yes,
her
it is
child with
different.
salt. It's very different.
Yeah.
Fictitious disorder. Fictitious, is that how you say it? Fictitious disorder? Imposed on another.
Yes.
Um, but this is so Dee Dee doesn't really fit the mold for any of that.
Mhm. If you really dig, you know what I
If
mean? Like,
you
if you
really dig,
just
but you have to really dig.
Yeah, and if
You
you're
know
looking at this case from certain angles, it might appear a certain way, like, "Oh, yeah, she did have Munchausen." You know what I mean?
Right, exactly, but then and especially if you're getting if you're putting together a documentary and you're having a psychologist up there to talk about, and then you have that one element, that one paper from or that one report from the neurologist that considered, was this
Yes, yes.
potential?
And that also is, like, part of this perfect storm, because it's like
Right,
some of these things was true, like, as
right,
far as there being a record of that, and the doctor even came out stating it.
right, and here's the other thing. Um, I know that you only have a certain amount of time to go after a doctor or a hospital for medical malpractice,
Yeah,
okay?
it's like only a year in some states and, like, 3
I
years
know.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the last procedure that Gypsy had done was right before the murder, which was the changing of the feeding tube.
Mhm.
You would think that
There'd
that's
be
that's an element that Gypsy doesn't talk about.
Yeah.
All she says is with respect to, like, doctor's visits, "Well, I was just given a dollar, a toy to hold and be quiet." That's not true because there's a video of her, and this is the last trip to the hospital, if I'm not mistaken, right before the murder. This is the infamous feeding tube change, and Gypsy's talking in that video.
Mhm.
It's hospital footage. It's, like, from the parking lot in the emergency room. It's the hospital's footage, but she's speaking. She's speaking. So it's just I don't know.
So many lies that she can't keep up with them, and the media who try to tell her
Correct.
story can't keep
Correct,
up with it.
well, misbehaving is absolutely correct. There was no psychologist claiming Munchausen syndrome by proxy until the documentaries.
True.
And they never even looked at Gypsy's records.
Right, so how
The
can we even believe I'm sorry,
correct,
but
that's the
people
problem.
you give them a couple bucks, they'll tell you what you want them to say on your documentary.
Exactly. That's the problem, is that this documentary was
Sketchy.
it was out on HBO. HBO is huge. They produced it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was an
Yeah,
HBO
they got the money.
production, and they put it out, and nobody, not very m don't wanna say nobody because there were people, but there were a lot of people that just saw the tidbits here and there on the news, and then when HBO announced there was gonna be a documentary, they watched it and they felt like, "Oh, how bad, how
And now I know
horrible."
the case. Yeah,
Right.
right.
How horrible.
And like Misbehaving said, if the head shaving was so detrimental, why is she shaving it now? Like, she's wearing in her most recent video about her podcast, wearing wigs and stuff, you know what I mean? And then I
Exactly. So why are you
watching the
doing that?
Demona picture or watching the Demona video last week, I was like, "You know what? Like, I have a whole new." Because for a while, I was like, Dee Dee shaved her head, like, even when I came around in certain elements of the case, I was still kind of like, well, Dee Dee shaved her head so that they could scam, Make-A-Wish and stuff like that. But now with these videos, then this is what's so interesting about, like, this new chapter in this study in this case, is, like, you start realizing, so then was it just easier for her to switch into her characters? Because if you ever wear a wig, which I do for fun here and there, I even have video on my channel with a pink wig, like, it's easier to do when you probably have no hair because you have to wear, like, a wig cap and, like, keep your
Yeah,
real hair down, like, so it's like,
right.
was it just something that was easier for her to keep her head shaved for all these characters and all that? And it's like the night Dee Dee died, Martina says, "Why did she say, 'Gypsy, please don't hurt me?' And why does Gypsy say in other interviews that she can't get the screams out of her head? Like, I thought that you were in the bathroom with your hands covering your ears and you didn't hear anything."
Well, yeah, and that's the thing that at first, Gypsy tried to say that Nick locked her in the bathroom
Mhm.
until the cop, or excuse me, let me get it correct. The detective says to her, "That's not really how a bathroom door works. The bathroom door locks from the inside." I suspect this is what I suspect, and I'm working on a way to prove this using the crime scene photos. I suspect that Gypsy was in that room multiple when the murder was actually happening. I think that's the secret that Nick is holding. Here's
Mhm.
why I think that. If it's just you and your child, okay? And somebody comes into your home and they attack you and they're stabbing you. Are you going to scream for your child to alert, regardless of how old your child is, right? Your daughter, unless it's your son who could potentially help. Do you know what I'm saying? Like your
Yeah.
adult, grown up
Right.
son. Maybe you might scream for him, but are you going to scream for your daughter? Are you going to scream, or are you just going to scream?
Or are you gonna
Screaming would,
scream to your daughter to run?
or are you going, well, why would you alert the attacker? You don't know how many people are in that house.
Right.
Why, and you don't know if they know that Gypsy, your kid's in the house, your daughter's in the house. I don't want to say kid because Gypsy wasn't actually a kid, but you're, I know what I would do. I would scream so that my kid could hear me and get the fuck out of there and call 911, get help.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I wouldn't call for my kid. She was
Yeah.
screaming for Gypsy.
Right.
She was screaming for Gypsy, and I think
It was
that she was screaming for Gypsy because she saw Gypsy.
right.
It's
Like, why are
very
you doing this
possible.
type of scream?
Exactly, and it is very possible that when Nick was killing Dee Dee, I mean, she's fighting him. And she says, it's very possible that Gypsy was watching and that Nick didn't actually see her. That's also possible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think she screamed Gypsy because she saw Gypsy.
Yeah. Like if my toddler plays around with me and she jumps on me, like, where I don't expect it, I'll be like, I'll say her name, like exclamation point after, because it's like, it's like you want to say, "What are you doing?" But like you say their name because it's like you're getting their
Right.
attention, like, hold on. Like,
Exactly.
and plus you just got hurt. So you're just like, dude, like, what the heck? Like, yeah,
Misbehaving, I've seen that theory, and I need to hear more about that because I am not there at all, not even close. But I am always willing to hear other people. I think I think that there is too much evidence in that home that suggests that Dee Dee was very much alive when Nick got there.
I'm on the same page with you. Like, I'm open to that, and when people say it, I won't say like absolutely not, because I think that the more we look at all this, the more I think we're all realizing like whatever we've been told isn't the truth. I don't know where the truth lies, but I think it's probably somewhere in between all these theories that we're kind of stating. But yeah, that is a very popular theory that has been going around like over a year, like ever since I started really digging into this, which, like I said, everything that I knew about this was just what was told to us from the media, and then when she got released from prison, and actually I think Melissa Jade and you did coverage of it before she was even released, like leading
Mhm.
up to her release. And then I was like, well, I'll give her a chance. But yeah.
I mean, oh, well, Misbehaving says, I'm not saying she wasn't alive. Okay. I'm saying that she was already hurt. I think Gypsy Rose Blanchard taunted her by having relations in front of Dee Dee before finishing her off. I mean, it has always been a sticking point for me, that last utterance. That was a slip. Gypsy said that whole
Screaming her name or
the
whatever.
whole Gypsy, don't hurt me. Just
Yeah.
promise me you won't hurt me, or something to that effect. That, I think, was a slip. I think that I don't think Gypsy realized what I think as after it came out of her mouth, I think she was like, "Oh," like Cartman, "Ugh, fuck."
Yeah.
But um th- I think that there are thank you. Okay, that Misbehaving said it. Okay. I've gone back and looked. There is the nightgown is not what they're trying to photograph. What they're actually trying to photograph is drops of blood. But in the corner of the picture is a white nightgown with pink flowers. It's just the way that it was photographed, it almost looks like it's big. Like I could never tell if it was Dee Dee's for sure or Gypsy's. And I'm going to say this too. The crime scene, a lot of people talk about why wasn't there blood on the walls and all the things. First of all, look at the color of the walls. And also, I'm sorry, Greene County. I don't know who was on the job that day, but the photographs, the documentation of the scene was not that great. You're going to get like my Google review would be like 4 out of 10. Okay. Barely a B. It does say that it's okay. I remember the evidence list, Miss Behaven. It describes the nightgown, but this is why I was not like 100%, and I didn't want to put it out because I wasn't 100%. It does. Gypsy says that she was wearing a white nightgown with pink flowers, but if I'm remembering right, I don't remember that they denoted the size. And that's where I was stuck. Or it could be that this is something that came out after the fact, after I made my first documentary or my first video, long form video of it. And the evidence that all of it wasn't out yet. And so I didn't want to, I never want to include a theory in something like that. Like this is one thing, like talking like this, I will, but not like, okay, sorry, Amber. Complete sidebar,
You're
sidetrack,
good.
side quest. I'm so
No,
sorry.
it's all related and it's all relevant because the thing about this case is, like I said, the layers of it.
It's like a rotten onion.
The other thing that I kind of am and feeling more and more with these videos is like I could see her conning. Like it's always been kind of like, oh, they con together and they did this fraud stuff together, but hearing her like talk the way she spoke like to Nick in these like different, it's like wow, you could really see like this maniacal like evil persona that she's totally capable of. So it's really not far-fetched to think that she's also like, okay, let's shave my head before the trip so that I look more sickly and maybe we'll get more GoFundMe money. And you know what I mean? Like it's not out of the realm.
No, it's absolutely not out of the realm. Now, I'll say this. I have always wondered if Gypsy didn't sedate her mom a little bit. I think if she didn't give her mom, there were a lot cleaner ways. Dee Dee was a diabetic. They could have given her insulin, and that would have been it.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. Yeah, I mean, the brutality of this has also been, but at the same time, she stole the damn weapon.
Yes, she did.
Like, I'm sorry. And plus the text messages, stealing the weapon. Ugh.
Just rolling down. Ooh, a steakhouse. Let's see what they got.
Just to kind of comment on Velveteen's comment here, like I'm sure like when they had like their disputes and like arguments and Dee Dee saw what her own daughter was capable of, I'm sure there were moments where Dee Dee was like, whoa, what did I create?
And waiting to cross the street. Clear.
You remember that humanimal?
Hate pad Osterville. Osterville. Osterville? Osterville. Osterville. Uh-huh. Like an oyster. Oh, yeah. Ooh, look at that place. They have a ship on their, it's really fuzzy. On their whatever house. ATM. No, not ATM. Bank. On their bank. Bank. What is it called? On their bank. Yeah.
I mean, to me, I hear a mom and a daughter. That's what I hear.
La 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 la. Oh, we hit a pothole. Pothole. Ow. La 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 la. Pizza? Is that pizza? Pizza? Someone left their bikes. Wait, now you can see really good. It's ship. Trying to get it. Okay, there we go. Fresh catch, seafood, and steak. I'm looking at the pizza. Cape Cod Inn. Yes, you went to pizza. There we go. Bowling. Duckmobiles. Duckmobile. Yes. Hi, Duckmobile lady. Hi. How are you doing today? Good. How are you guys? Doing good. Hyannis Inn and Motel. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Ooh, pretty flowers. Pretty. They smell good. Pretty. Pretty. And how do you make them purple? I don't know how you make them purple. Miss Rosie said you plant them with a nail. Ooh, neat. Instead of blue, they get purple. Nice. And the Cape Cod Church. First Baptist Church.
Excuse me, can I just say something?
Beautiful. Pretty.
I would just also like to take this opportunity to point out that Gypsy's reading all of these signs. These signs are difficult. Some of these words are hard for people beyond a kindergarten education. She's not having any trouble. That is all.
Mm-hmm.
See, lies on lies on lies. Hey, MJ, good to see you, babe.
Yeah, I think I know why these videos kind of got buried. Like, the thing is,
Yeah.
too, this stuff could have been uncovered by media, but if they're being told one narrative, you know what I mean, then maybe this
Right.
wouldn't be
I
stuff
don't,
that they'd want.
but this is stuff that they had of Nick for Nick's trial too. This was given over to both sides. It would have Nick's because it's part of the original investigation. So
It's
Nick's
been
attorneys would
buried.
have gotten yes, and they thought that if they were able to get Gypsy up there, and she said, "I'm the one that planned it all. I'm the one that not only did I plan it, I set those plans in motion. I sent him the money. He didn't, all he had to do was show up, which is exactly what he did. She did everything else. And I really think that they thought that their expert would explain that Nick, it is not about knowing right from wrong. Their argument was never that. It just wasn't clear to the jury. This is just my opinion. My opinion, well, anyway, it was never made their expert witness never made it clear to the jury that it's not that Nick is not guilty of killing Dee Dee. He's completely guilty of that.
Mhm.
However, because of his being on the spectrum, he cannot form the necessary deliberation under the law. And that is why he should be found not guilty of first-degree murder.
There
That
definitely
was their
stuff that has
argument.
been shown even since his conviction that's like, well, maybe, like the stuff about him being alone, like for I don't know, something about the interrogation and stuff. Like a
Well,
lot of
look how they
questions
treated
along the
him.
way. Yeah.
Look how they treated him. Gypsy was put in a room with a couch. She wasn't wearing cuffs. Nick was in an interrogation room the entire time. It wasn't until they would come in and check on him, but he was handcuffed the entire time until the detective from Missouri got there. And
Mhm.
he didn't even know that he could ask to go to the bathroom.
Right.
Okay, so that
She's
should
given
have
a blanket, etc.
yes, she was made comfortable. I mean, that should have clued them in that they were not dealing with somebody who processes things the same way that Gypsy
They
did.
had to have anyone who kind of speaks to Nick or watches his videos now, I guess we would look at and within a minute.
Right. The bottom line is it's look, there is a video on there's a live on my channel that I did with the original. I'm talking about 2019 original founders of the Nick Go to John Freedom Project. And those girls were only ever advocating for Nick to be moved to a mental health facility. They didn't want him literally free. They just felt, and I agree, that prison is not the right place for him, that he needs to be in a secure facility. They had many, many conversations with Nick via phone calls and emails. The
Mhm.
fact, and they will tell you, and they tell you in that live. The fact of the matter is, Nick has some very dangerous
tendencies.
He has some very dangerous thoughts, and I don't think that he has been. I don't think I think he needs a lot of help. And to you, Miss Behaven says, I'm curious, were those the same girls from NPG? Yes. They were the original, they were the original, they founded, was it NPG back then? I'm trying to remember.
Hello, JS and MJ. MJ, you're also welcome anytime. We're going through these every Friday. So I've invited Bendy and Alex Erickson. And of course, you're always invited too, because I know. And I've shouted you out. I was saying like last week in part 1, your channel, Jen's channel, definitely for
This was before
the
that, Miss
research.
Behaven. Sorry. I'm sorry. Amber, this is not my panel. Jen, get it together.
No, you're good. I'll play the video. Just type if you want to type it.
Yeah, let me type it. Let me put it in the chat. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Let's see what else this Cape Cod trip will show.
Clock tower. Yeah.
Yay. That would be awesome, MJ.
Everybody needs a little elbow room. Cocktail. Elbow and cocktail room. Cocktail. Honey, a cocktail.
Listen to them singing together. I mean, their voices almost sound exactly the same.
So we are shopping at a Cape Cod shop looking for the perfect t-shirts. Look at this whole big old shop. So we are at the restaurant, the British Beer Company, and this is our booth poster, Hobgoblin. British Beer. And this is around. It's a very big bar. Restaurant. Bar. And to all of you that know the whole drinking joke with me, you're gonna say Gypsy again in a bar, but it's called a pub. And restaurant. And say it. Come on, say it. Say Pocky Hard Yard. It's too much sugar and diabetic.
Yes, everybody, look how evil this mother is to her daughter. I'm being sarcastic, of course.
Wait, Amber, will you go back to that, babe? Please, real quick.
Yes, yes. Back to just that view of
Yes.
Dee Dee?
Yes. Okay.
Press play or
No, just right here is good.
okay.
How is Gypsy higher than Dee Dee?
Yeah, what is going on here?
Is she standing?
I think Dee Dee's sitting. And
Right.
she's in the chair.
Right, but how is the wheelchair higher?
I don't know. Is she sitting on the ground?
No, she looks like she's
Can't
sitting in
be.
a chair.
Yeah. So is Dee Dee or is Gypsy standing?
Is Gypsy standing?
What's going on here? What's going on here? Did they not take the wheelchair that day? Didn't need the handicap parking spot?
Mm-hmm. What's going on?
Hold on. Let's mute it and slow it.
Okay.
It's one of those things. And like Rod and everyone, oh, she was such an evil woman. Where does all that come from? Like they just what is she sitting in?
She's sitting on something. I don't think she's like I don't know. She's lower than the people next to her as well.
Yeah, and they're in a regular chair.
They're
like
in a
lawn
regular chair. So what it and I guess
I don't know.
but even still, like, okay, pause it right there. Go back like 5 seconds. Where you can see the lady's leg.
Okay, hold on.
Forward just a little bit. Can you if you press the right there. See when she bent her head down? Just like a couple of seconds ago. Look, if you push the arrow key on your thing, it'll do 5 seconds at a time. Right there.
I don't see like what she's sitting on.
But see the lady next to her?
Yeah, much
you can
higher.
see her leg. She's much higher up. But Gypsy's even higher than that. Because the angle of of what she's holding is down. And you can see the whole top of Dee Dee's head. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe she is sitting on a stadium seat or whatever.
Hold on. Because they're waiting for a parade to start. 4th of July parade. They're on the side of the road. There's a sidewalk.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a better view because it's just Gypsy seems inordinately high.
Yeah, this is slowed down. And then when they show the police vehicle, I'll put it back on regular.
Okay.
But yeah, it's hard to really see what's going on here as far as what she'd be sitting
I mean,
in.
she looks like she's on the ground. But I will tell you this. This business of snatching the drink,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an abused child at all by any stretch of the imagination, but I will tell you this. I would have never in a million years snatched a drink out of my parents' hand like that, even if we were joking, even with my mom, even as an adult. I just never would do that.
Let me get a little sip of that. Or can I?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would have asked, but I would never have just taken a drink from my parents like
My
that.
mom never really liked sharing like drinks and stuff. But she's like, she'd be like, ugh. So I wouldn't have asked anyways. But yeah, that's interesting too, that element of it. If this woman is the one that's abusing you, you have no problem just reaching over and disrespecting your abuser like that?
Right. And that's see, this is the little nuances that I think are so very important.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's necessarily the laughing and the joking, right? Because if you think about abuse and how it works, it's not all I don't want to say every day is not a bad day, right? There's that honeymoon period where where things are relative, but kids are always waiting for the next shoe to drop, as they say.
Right.
So this laughing, joking and stuff that's not the thing, because that does happen. That's not proof that there's no abuse. It's Gypsy's demeanor towards her mother.
And her demeanor back.
Correct. The control of her taking a drink out of her mom's hand suggests something much more and not normal.
Yes.
It suggests a joking around, that they had a playful relationship. Part of me wonders. I do think Gypsy exaggerates when she says perfect. Nobody is perfect. I think Gypsy does that a lot. I think she tends to exaggerate things. These are the best mashed potatoes I've ever eaten. Everything is the best. It's always to the nth degree, right? It's always on that, I do think she romanticizes many things and fantasizes and all that. Okay. I think she's extra as fuck for no reason. But I do think when she talks about how close she and her mom were, I actually think, and I know this is messed up, but I actually think that is genuine.
Yeah.
I think she's telling the truth.
Yeah, I do too.
That's what makes a good lie. That's why she's scary, because she knows that you got to mix truth in order to sell a lie. It cannot be just a straight lie. You got to mix in a little of the truth. You got to make it believable.
Yep. And
okay, now for real, I'm going to go have a cig.
Okay.
Thank you for putting up with me and my
no need to apologize.
Weirdo habits that I have.
I love all the weird habits you have.
I love that you love all my weird habits.
In fact, guys, what is your Gypsy video? Do you have a playlist? Because I want to link your channel again in chat.
I have a whole playlist. Yes.
Okay. I'm linking Jen Lou's channel, guys. So check it out. She's got the Gypsy playlist. And I know that she's going to be working on some new stuff too. So. It does seem like she could be sitting on the ground, like the grass itself, but the question is still, is Gypsy standing or is she in her wheelchair? I don't know if we'll ever get the true answer from this footage, but interesting. Still interesting to say the least. And yeah, the dynamic still between them. Remember, Gypsy says things like that she was walked on eggshells around her mother. Do we see somebody walking on eggshells around their mother here? She says things that nothing that she could do was ever good enough. Stuff like that. Like she definitely has stated since even being out of prison, about Dee Dee.
Whoa, look at those. Whoa, trippy. Look at those spinny wheels. All right, people, we're looking at y'all spinny wheels. Oh, Gypsy, look how pretty.
Now this angle definitely doesn't look like it's from a wheelchair. Like, is she up on a hill or something? Like, look at all the people she's, like, hovering over. We see all the back of the heads of these people. Is she standing? I don't know. This is weird. Now, I'm glad that we've looked at this as closely as we have. Like, some people be like, "Oh, you guys are reaching, you're digging too deep." I don't know. Is she standing? Could be a selfie stick. We got to keep all options open.
Oh, look, he's tied up.
You giving away shoes? Give me some meat! Brother up!
Okay, see, what's throwing me off here is the people in the crowd.
Yeah,
She
somebody's
is
hand was, like, right in front of her, but it wasn't like
she's not tilting the camera down or panning it up to get a better, to get a like, how you can if you're holding not your phone, if you're holding a camcorder, right? And
Mhm.
you're sitting, you would tilt it up a little bit and we would have seen I feel like that we would see that motion. And there'd
Yeah.
also be a little bit of wobbling too just from holding it.
Right.
Yes, and of course Gypsy wants the beads.
We are at the Hyannis Harbor. Beautiful boat.
See how it is? She's clearly in a wheelchair here.
Yeah, and you can hear it.
And we
You
are
can
gonna
hear
be
it and you
eating
can see how she shakes.
Spankies,
Yes.
clams.
And look yeah,
Hands
exactly.
up.
The different
I
it's a
only
totally different film.
It's a totally different way, and I only noticed it because I'm working really hard to recreate a certain effect, and it's parallax, but it's more complicated, a little more it's another effect on top of it. Anyway, long story short, I've been like completely immersed in tutorials on how to achieve this specific effect without I used to have After Effects, but it's extremely expensive and I just can't justify it. So
I get it.
there's a workaround to do it. It just takes more time. Anyway, without using the Shmita, without using that 3D camera effect in After Effects. So
This is
it's
interesting.
yes, I've learned all kinds of stuff.
I don't know. She claimed that her mother made her stay in a wheelchair every damn day, every second.
Determined that was a lie.
Get her, Amber.
All right. Let's get done with this video because we can only
Okay.
take so much of the voice. Let's get real.
For reals.
Back in a little bit. There is a wait line. So we are waiting on the harbor.
I feel sad when I see Dee Dee.
Oh, Dee Dee. Look at her.
Cha-cha.
I mean,
Look at her and her little capris.
the little shoe. I know, but literally though, it's like, it's just there's so many crimes that are obviously horrific, but
Yeah.
when you birth something that ends you,
I
it's like a
know.
different twist in a tragedy.
It's exactly the same as when the person who birthed you murdered you.
Yeah.
It's a different level of betrayal.
Yes. It's just a different twist of a sick way to die, you know? It's like I cannot imagine. I
I
cannot
can't
imagine.
either. I can't either. Turn it out.
Amazing because I don't know
But
this
Christy
dance. I
talked
don't
about
know
how
this dance.
Oh, hold on a minute.
she doesn't know this dance? I didn't know
Wait,
you
what do
knew
you
how to
wait,
dance.
wait, what do you mean? I thought you were kept in a wheelchair 25/8. What do you mean you don't know this dance?
Look at Dee Dee. She's like, "Did you just say that on camera? I thought we were doing this whole facade, Gypsy."
Yeah, what happened?
But do you like you agree that over the years Christy has also been a very like perpetual narrative pusher of Dee Dee being super evil also?
You know, I'll tell you this. Did you say Christy? Is that what you said?
Did I?
What
Yes.
did you just Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
Christy.
Okay. Okay, I wanna make sure I heard you
If I
right.
didn't, then yes,
Here's
Christy.
the deal. This If I remember correctly, I believe that Rod and Christy were their story goes that they were just really, really good friends, and then all of a sudden, one day, they realized, "Oh my god, we're so in love," right? Give me a break, okay? This is not a rom-com,
Mhm.
stop it, okay? I personally think that they were on the outs. I think they were on a break, Ross and Rachel, okay?
Mhm.
And, I think that Rod went out to the bowling alley to see the band. I think Dee Dee was there. I think that, there was some wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and I think that's what Rod thought it was gonna be. I think that Dee Dee was getting the girl that he got under to get over Christy. And then Rod got married, and Christy was like, "Oh, wait a minute. I think that I messed up."
Mhm. I could
And
see it.
that's why she doesn't like Dee Dee. That's why I don't think it has anything to do with all she just abused her, blah, 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 blah. 'Cause where were you, Christy? I mean,
Right.
you knew
She
about
probably loved the distance that Dee Dee allegedly
Gypsy
put
came
between
before
them.
your children, which means that Rod and Gypsy technically would have been a package deal, right? Yeah. Stop playing with these people, Christy.
Yeah, and how many years apart is Gypsy from her siblings with
Oh
like, I'm
god,
trying to
don't get me
figure out how
lying.
soon Rod got Christy pregnant.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Misbehavin' says, no, he and Christy were already friends, and Dee Dee and Christy worked together.
Oof. Yikes.
What are you doing?
Yeah, people are saying they think that they think Gypsy's standing here. I don't know.
Ow! Wow, that was really
Oh
loud.
my god. Gypsy.
Gotta remember, we're not at Vision Con. Hi, our two most handsome men.
Hold on, I also had a question about Dee Dee's medical history because I can't recall what exactly it stated in the autopsy. But did she have a hysterectomy?
Dee Dee?
Yeah. Was there something stated like?
I'm gonna have to go back and look at Dee Dee's autopsy. See, um,
I'm just
I
curious because
Misbehavin', I'll tell you that yes,
she
Misbehavin' says
did.
yes. Okay, so
She
Misbehavin',
had
I will
some.
do an open panel next week. If you subscribe to I don't hate doing this on your panel, but
Do
Amber,
it.
this is rude.
You're on my damn channel for a
Just
reason. I
go
want
okay,
like
are you sure? Okay.
yes, I
Just
want
go
people
on
to
my channel
celebrate.
to the main part, to and there's the in the about section is my email. Just email me, and whenever I do, we'll work out a schedule so I can have you up. How about that? Will that work?
Ooh, that'd be very interesting for you to get back into digging through some gypsy stuff.
Yeah, I need to get back to it. Okay, Gypsy. Okay, I'm doing it. You done made me mad now, Gypsy. I'm back on you.
Look at this mug.
Lord Jesus.
Adorable things. We are in Cape Cod right now, and oh my goodness,
Okay,
it
I need
reminds
to say
me
this. I
of
forgot about this
so
part.
much.
Misbehaving, you so Amber dropped my okay, I'm the one talking, Jen Lou, and I have my own channel. So I will Amber's been putting my link. If you go to my about section, I'll do an open panel. If you go to my about section and email me, we'll work out a schedule so that you can come up and chat.
I just dropped the link
Oh,
in
thank you,
chat
babe.
from my second channel.
Thank you. Okay, I want to put this out here. If you notice how Gypsy is dressed here, this is a departure from the more scandalous, salacious videos. And here's why. Because in the beginning, Gypsy lied to Nick. She told him that she did have these issues. She told him, so this is before Gypsy told Nick the truth. So that's why she's wearing the glasses and the wig. I mean, she's dressed the way she would dress if she were out at one of the medical
Mhm.
conventions or around town.
And these lies went on for years.
Right. It's not like, she lied to Nick for a short period of time. She
Right.
lied to him for quite some time
Yeah.
before she told him.
And that's the thing is think about it from like an aspect of her being a psychopath or a sociopath. Like he thought the whole time that they had a connection. So
Yes.
if she can lie to somebody who's she's sort of like making fall in love with her for that long, that easily with no, like that's what also leads me to think that she's mostly behind this like whole facade with her mother.
Yes. That's really important, Amber. And that is an excellent point because the fact of the matter is she worked on Nick for years before he actually killed her mother. And why that's important is because it's not like Gypsy was juggling multiple guys and Nick is the one who panned out. There was something, the way that a lioness can spot the weakest
Mhm.
zebra in the pack or the weakest
Oh,
antelope
yeah.
in the pack. That is
Calculated.
what Gypsy did. She
Yes.
saw something in Nick. She knew that she could convince him to do this, that she knew it was going to be a long con and she was in
Mhm.
for it. And
I'm
that's what we're witnessing. That's what those videos really are.
Yeah.
Also, is
The
that is
string
the long
along.
con. Yes.
Yes. Yep. And like the way that she would tell him their connection that she thinks they have. And, it's like,
To determine that was a lie.
but like not even in a joking way. It's like sick.
It is sick. And she might have had designs on multiple guys.
And
But
that's what I was going to say to you. Do you think that like men were sending her money and stuff?
in jail?
No, like as part of this whole, oh, I'm in a wheelchair.
Um,
like connections through like
I
dating
think
apps
that
that way.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not ruling it out, but I'm not sure. I've heard it before.
I wish
But
there would be like evidence maybe to
me
prove
too.
that.
What I'm saying is
In prison, yes, yeah.
she may have been juggling many guys, but only one of them was the person that she was zoned in on and honed in on to commit this crime. She
Mhm.
wasn't interviewing multiple candidates to kill her mother.
Right.
I'm not used to being away from YouTube this long, and
Oh dear.
lately I've been feeling kind of scared and insecure, but hopefully I'll get some reassurance soon. I really need it. But I'm hopeful. You know, I'm not freaking out. I'm just missing YouTube very much. Usually we talk either every day or every other day, so I usually get reassurance every day. So not being able to be online every day is really tough. Let's see what else has been going on. Trying to think. My mom stepped out of the room for a little while. The beaches are beautiful. I really wish you both were here to see the sun.
Her mother's so controlling, but she steps out of the room and lets you be alone and stuff while you guys are in another state on vacation.
Right. I mean, this is just
It was enough for him to believe it.
right. And I know that I wish that we had the ability to see and hear all of their communications because they
Yeah.
did talk on the phone, so we can't hear that. But I would be really curious about what Nick told her about other girls because I have a theory, but I'm not I just need to think about it a little bit more, but and see if I can, like, I don't know, fill it out a little bit more. It's still, like, in the thinking. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Facebook and the Skype is out, but not like like, all of it. There were other communications that are not out, like,
Oh,
when
I'm
they
sure even
actually
phone
spoke
calls.
on the phone.
Yeah.
But,
And chat
what
with
I
me.
wanna know what he told her about the way that those girls were with him, because something tells me that Nick shared with her on some level, and I don't think it was direct. I think it was something innocuous. I think it is something that only a predator would be able to pick up on. And I think that there is an element to Gypsy's personality that is clingy and needy. We
Mhm.
see it with her and Ken.
Yeah, it's probably daddy issues.
But I also think there is it's the word that she chooses to use, which is a word that, he uses a lot, which is assure and reassure. That is a word that Nick uses, like, not just with Gypsy, just in general. And I think that some of this is performative.
Mhm.
Not all of it, though. I
Interesting.
don't think she wanted Nick. I'll say that right now.
No.
I think that she always wanted Dan.
Yeah.
And I do think that there is something from one of Nick's post-conviction hearings, and Dan Glidewell answers some questions. I want to find that again because I remember, and I'm pretty sure I screenshot it. I just need to find where I put it because I'm like 89% sure that I read that the whole BDSM was not a Nick thing.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd like to know the origins of that too. Because that's also noteworthy. It's something along this whole story that would be interesting to pinpoint the origins.
Yes, misbehaving. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did hear that.
I'm sure we would enjoy that. Have a picnic in the sand and have like some wine or something. That'd be really nice.
Wait, how are they going to have how are they going to have their feet in the sand if she's in a wheelchair? Well, obviously not impossible, but just the way that like it's like she slips up. Like there's Freudian slips and there's little truths that are in her whole lie, even to Nick.
Yeah.
So far, we went whale watching and we saw 3 whales. One came up like right by the boat, which I recorded it. You probably saw it a little while ago. Went shopping on Main Street, got a few souvenirs. What else? And we went to a medical conference, learned a lot of the latest technology and medical research and stuff like that. So that's what's been going on. Anyway, I know Demona wants to talk, so I'm going to let her talk and then we'll sign off so you can see the rest of the video. So I love and adore you both, my darling, wonderful kings. Hey, you two sexies. I hope you both are doing wonderful right now. And, what else? Well, I've had 1 or 2 high libido nights, but, I deal with that the best way I can, which is fantasizing about you both, so. And, one of those fantasies is something about a beach. It was something about naked on the beach. But I'll talk about it later. Let's see. As Gypsy was saying, we learned a lot of great stuff, did a lot of fun things, and we just missed you both so much and can't wait to get home. So, I love and adore you both so much, our handsome, adorable, sexy kings, and I can't wait to get home to kiss you both. So, I love you both so much and adore you both so much. Have a great day. Bye. Oh, and we hope you enjoyed this video. So we are at the bus station waiting to take our bus. Mama is getting our ticket. And we are just waiting. So, be back on the bus. This is a very small mall at Cape Cod.
You need to put some pep in your feel. You can tell it's very early in the morning.
I'm tired.
Just look into the lines over there, thingies. On the other side of the small mall. Excuse me, small mall.
We are on the bus.
And the wheels are going round and round. Because the wheels was go round and round and round and round. The wheels was go round and round all through the time. Ooh, pretty color. Hey, look at that, right? Is that a car? They have a beer here.
Let's set the sound.
And the car must have been
I know. There it is. That's where we stayed.
And the car. We can make it. Can anybody really pronounce that name?
You know.
We didn't get a spa at the car.
Oh, look at the cute car. It looks like a It's the B-mobile. How cute. It's where we stay, our hotel.
Woohoo! But I don't gotta wash it and dry it.
No, I don't. That's very odd. We are in Boston. Beautiful city.
I found it. Hold on. I found the thing about Dan.
Cool, 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 cool.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, She's Crafty, for gifting 5 memberships, and welcome to those members. So what'd you find?
All right. So at 3:24 p.m., this is during Nick's appeal in 2022. But at 3:24 p.m., the defense attorney calls, and this is just the shortened version. This is not the transcript. This is from KY3. The defense attorney calls Daniel Glidewell. He met Gypsy at a convention. Glidewell kept in contact with Gypsy via video chat. He says that Gypsy told him her mother made her stay in a wheelchair and had unnecessary medical treatment. He says that wait a minute. He says that Gypsy told him her mother made her stay in a wheelchair and had unnecessary medical treatment. Interesting, because she said she didn't know she was not sick and needed all those things. Oh my God. Okay. He says that their relationship developed from friendship to a sexual relationship. They would send explicit videos to each other. He discusses how they role played occasionally. He referred to Gypsy as being shy and timid. He says he developed a taste of power exchange role playing from her. He says she would send nude photos, dress up in costumes, and use various fictitious names. Glidewell says he was injured and that Gypsy visited him while he was in the hospital. She told him she wanted to go to Arkansas to restart her life. 3:45 p.m. Oh, excuse me. No questions from prosecution. The witness is dismissed. The court is in recess until Wednesday. So he learned it from her.
And the thing too, that these videos and these personas and the sick, twisted stuff she says in them, she is well versed in a lot of ways that it's like, I'm sure she could have known about Munchausen by proxy and used it as like her lies too. You know what I mean?
I mean, she looked a lot of things up.
Yeah.
You know? So, and the fact of the matter is, when you're around, regardless of why she was there, just take the why out, okay? She was around medical people all the time. I grew up that way. My mom was a histologist. I was around doctors all the time, pathologists at that. They know all about the human body. And I would listen and I would ask questions, and you learn things being in that type of environment. So,
yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibilities now in my research.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm going to have to, I guess I'm going back in.
He's going under.
The grand tour around the city. Nice. It is nice. over the bridge. Moving. Look, she's moving. We are in the Boston Terminal Airport, waiting to board our plane to go to Chicago. And the next flight after that is from Chicago to Springfield. Home. Yay! Can't wait. Our bags. Whoa! That is sanitary. No germs. We are at the Chicago airport right now, looking around at all the different souvenirs. Nice shirt.
Oh, over here is the White Sox. The Red Sox.
Oh, the Red Sox.
Get her out of
The
there,
White
Dee Dee.
Sox or
Swipe
Red
or no
Sox?
Over
swiping.
here is White Sox.
White Sox.
They change their socks.
They changed their socks.
You in a wheelchair here?
And the big board of all
Okay,
the
yeah,
flights.
Looking up.
See? Looking up.
Yeah, it's a lot of flights. Oh. Wow.
Totally different vibe when she's around a crowd of people.
Time will be 1 hour 16 minutes. We will be flying at an altitude of 36,000 feet. Weather is clear, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius. In just a few moments, we will be closing the cabin door. At this time, please turn off and put away all electronic devices. Electronic devices can interfere with aircraft systems, therefore they must be turned completely off. They cannot be in airplane flight mode for takeoff or landing. I will let you know when you may use them during the flight. Thank you.
Flight attendants like, why is this creepy girl videotaping me?
Get retarded and not give consent. Okay. I want to talk
Hiding.
this really quickly about this Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Okay. Mike Stanfield is the one who used that as her defense. But
Mhm.
he didn't come up with that. He might have come up with the term Munchausen syndrome by proxy on his own, but it's based on things that Gypsy told him. And if she was telling Dan way back when they were an item, which was 2010, 2011, that she was being forced into a wheelchair and receiving unnecessary medical treatment. See, this is the thing about Gypsy. This is her love. This, in my opinion, this is how I see it. This is the way she is manipulative. She is a covert manipulator. She's the type of person that manipulates somebody else into doing it, but not just doing what she wants, but making them believe it was their idea.
Mm-hmm.
She knows
Mhm.
exactly what to say, and more important, what not to say.
Yeah, I totally agree.
What's not true and what's absolutely false.
Gym girl got a membership. I don't know. The thing about this case too is like with the plea deal, it's even though Nick had a trial, there were things that still didn't get brought to the surface, you know? And if she had her own trial, I think that we would have more certainty on certain things like the discussion of the Munchausen by proxy and stuff like that.
I need to look at this again. Because I don't ever remember him using
the spousal abuse.
Right.
I that's the first I've heard of that too, but again, like my deep dive into this has been all over the place. But I will say that I think that this is a good point to stop on tonight, 2.5
Yeah.
hours in,
Yeah.
and there's
Like
so
I
much to go through, misbehaving, that we'll have to do a rain check because I gotta get out of this computer chair. I gotta, it's like
I'm not arguing with you girls. It's been a long time since I looked into that
yeah,
part of
that's
it.
it's like
So I am not saying that it's not true. I'm
yeah.
just I gotta go look for
She
myself. Do you
says
know what
it
I
in the
mean?
See, that's the thing too, Veronica, and misbehaving is like myself. I haven't even listened. Like I'm trying to go through this stuff with you guys live weekly. So I know that there's phone calls and stuff. I'm just not like there yet in my research. So I love that you guys have all seen things that we haven't seen or are up to
Right.
date on information that
Yes.
maybe it's been years,
Right. And
especially for you.
yeah, I didn't like okay, when I covered like the facts of the case as we knew it when she got out in
Mhm.
2023.
3.
And then I walked away from it because quite frankly, I was annoyed at the amount of attention and she was getting for being such an absolute asshole on TikTok.
Yeah. But trust me, I got the people that were like, "You're giving her more attention than she
Yeah.
deserves," and it was like, "Well, this
You
is the
wanted to
first
know, you
person."
were interested.
Yeah, and plus, where have we studied a case where we've been able to see not only has the person involved been released from jail, but they're on social media throwing themselves like, you couldn't open up a social media app without seeing a statement or a media interview
Right.
or her TV show or, so it was just kind of like it was there. And then it
Yeah.
was like, well, why is she saying this when she said that? And things were just kind of compiling as far as her statements contradicting that certain things like her defense and stuff like that, like haven't been like in my forefront of my brain when it comes to Gypsyrose because there's just been so much other BS.
Right, right. And I was like, okay, um, I just feel like you guys reach out to me on my email. I'll just put it in the chat. It's on my about page, but I'll just put it.
That's what I like about the Gypsyrose community is, wow, people have the motivation to get like
Mhm.
the stories out there and like things that she's said out there because she's such a liar that it's like you have to call her out and you have to like look at it from like a huge picture, like the big
Right.
picture. This
And
is the origins, which we could
exactly. And
go
all
back
of this
over.
stuff is like yes, things have been coming out like a lot, right? Like but more and more has been coming out recently.
Mhm.
And I wasn't even sure that I was going to go over it,
And
the
like
new
last week,
videos.
Into the Weeds said something about, "Oh, did you read the emails, her jail and her prison emails?" I was like, "Oh my god.
Right, see,
No,
I
that's a
haven't
whole
even
other
got
can
there
of
either.
worms." Um, oh god, misbehaving. I touched on it probably the last 10, 15 minutes of my last week's stream, and I think it's such bullshit. And then but I also kinda said like, "But what more can she do to kinda try to save herself and her image, quote unquote image, be and reputation after all these videos come out?" I mean, the only move that she can make as like a PR and like, just as a person is to be like, "God forgives me, God sees me, who I
Can
truly
I just
am."
say
And
this right here, right now? Have you did she say only God can judge me? Because if she said that
oh my god, I don't No, but
I might have to quit the internet because that's like
that's
the
the
most.
vibe. That's the vibe that
Oh
she's
my
putting out.
god.
Yes,
She's so
go to her
ridiculous.
YouTube channel. She has a short of it, her new podcast, and she's taking the Chris Watts, like, God angle now. Yes.
Oof.
Yes. And it's like, after all these videos are being exposed of you, where else could she turn to kind of save herself and her what little
Yeah,
image
like
that sh yeah.
yikes.
It's like, how come you didn't turn to God your first year in prison?
Right. It's can't do it with her. Like, see, and this is the other thing. In order to go through all the things, that means I have to listen to Gypsy. And there was a time way back in what, 2019 when I did. I dug into everything that we could actually get our hands on.
Yeah.
And that just
And yes,
was very limited.
she's got a new voice, Jen. She's got a new
Oh,
podcast voice.
oh Jesus.
I
Oh,
know.
sweet. Oh, so what is she doing her little radio announcer
Something I
voice?
swear to God, yes. Yes,
Not
yes. It's like Gypsy, but it's like
the D is fire.
the D is fire. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But yeah, okay.
All right, we need to go. I have to get up. I have to be up tomorrow at like 4:30. I have to watch
Oh
the
my
Nuggie. I
whoa,
know. I have to watch the Nuggie.
4:30. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
because they gotta be I gotta be at their house at 5, and,
Gotcha.
I need to be, like, even though the Nuggie will still be asleep, I feel like I should be awake. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
once
yeah.
I'm awake too,
I know, I'm the
So, like,
same
I'm
way.
not gonna be able to go back over there.
I know, I gotta wake up early too and bring my little one to dance. It's like she loves it so much, but it's so hard to get up, like, for the Saturday morning.
I know, I know, I know, I
And I'm
know.
just like, "Don't skip out." She loves it once we get going, but yeah. So next Friday, I'll pick the next video to go through. You're welcome to join. Jen or,
Yeah.
MJ's welcome, of course, and Allie, of course, and
Yeah, we
guys,
have to
check
do this
out Jen's
again.
channel. Yeah. I mean, there's so much to go through and, like, yeah, eventually we'll get to the point where I'll go through the emails and there's so much, like, Jen, you could go live and start on, like, the emails or the jail calls, you know what I mean?
I know, I know. There is a jail call that I wanna go through and a video that I wanna go through because I think they go together. So I
Perfect.
am definitely gonna go live. I need to make myself go live Monday night. Like, that's it, that's all. Like,
Okay.
I need to get back. I was like, "I'm not gonna go live until this intro's done for you guys." But yeah, I need to go. I miss talking to you guys, and I'm getting like, I need to.
I'm excited for the intro, but, in all honestly, like, just go live.
Yeah, I'm
You
just gonna
know?
go live. Yeah, but
I'm gonna link your channel again.
thank you,
Also,
babe.
if you guys just click in case you're watching this on replay and you don't see the chat or whatever, like, if you go to the title and where it has at the Ward case studies, you can just click on her name in the title of this where it says with, and then it has her name of the channel, and then that just takes you right to her channel. And then she linked her email. Her email is on her page as well. I don't know if Into the Weeds is still listening, but I know that you want to get in contact with her for future things that I'm excited for. And yeah, we're just going to continue the deep dives into Gypsy because this is all new perspective. And when we want to really understand the case, which I think you're the same way, Jen, it's like
Yeah,
you have to go through, like, I can't just ignore this stuff and then speak on this case at any point in time in the future and say that I know it. Because, like, these
right.
videos are an insight into, I think, who Gypsy really is truly. Because
Absolutely.
your true self is the angle of things that you don't think the public and everyone's gonna see probably, you know what I mean?
Right, right. I don't think she ever thought in 11 billion years anybody would ever see this. And I don't think, um, I think there's a lot of things that Gypsy underestimated, and I think that, my advice to her back then when she was doing her world tour was you really ought to leave well enough alone. You got enough people, including mainstream media, to buy your bullshit. If I were you, I would get out of prison and I would live my life and keep it and be on the low. But no, 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 no. She had to do a whole press tour and, speak. The way that she spoke about Nick, it wasn't surprising. Let me say that. But I do think that it is another thing that came out of her mouth that just rubbed people the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she said how she tried to put it in a very crisis management package. But the truth is, if you really break down what exactly she said, basically what she said is, look, I got the deal I got. He could have taken that. He could have taken a plea deal. He chose not to. He got life without the possibility of parole. I got paroled. Now I'm out and I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks to suck. That's really what her attitude was. That's really what she
Oh, yeah.
basically said.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
I don't think she loses sleep at
No,
all.
she doesn't. And she
Not at all.
She doesn't. And I don't even think that she worries one iota that he will come out and tell this secret.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that even if something did happen where like some stuff was told by him about her, like I just don't think she cares at this point. Like I think she's kind of managed like, oh, people might unsub for me or unfollow me, but there's still people who are going to support me and buy my bullshit.
Exactly. And there always will be.
Yeah.
The problem, like what I'm hoping for it with us covering this, all of us, not just me and you, but Into the Weeds, 1980 millennial, what is her dad? It's 1980 millennial commentary. Um, Hello Starlight, all of the of the let's get on this truth train. What I'm hoping for, we're never like I think it's unrealistic to expect mainstream media to change the way that they do things because their motto is if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I am hoping, because we can't fix up that situation, but what we can do is remind people that, yeah, a documentary isn't the worst thing in the world to watch, but there are other sources out there for more information, raw information, a fuller picture of
Mm-hmm.
what happened. And that's what if you really want to know, if you're really invested in a case and you really want to know all of the things, you don't just have to rely on a documentary from
Right.
mainstream media.
And I think now more than ever, people are willing to step away from the mainstream media.
Yeah, I think they are too.
And plus there's like a community aspect too, like when you get into digging into this case and many other cases where you start recognizing the same names in chats and then it just builds.
Exactly. It just builds momentum.
Yeah.
And the truth is important. What happened,
Mhm.
who did what, and all of that matters.
Yeah, I agree. And we'll continue the deep dives. So Monday night, I'll look for you to be live. Everyone else should too.
Yeah.
Um,
I hope so, you guys. Be looking out for that. I promise that I will be live on
Either
Monday.
way, you have a Gypsy Rose playlist
I do.
with really good videos on there that I highly recommend. And thank you so much, Jen, for joining us and everybody in chat, everyone who hit the like button and donated. Thank you guys so much. Tomorrow night is our hangout night, our chill night. We are going to discuss true crime, but we're also kind of highlighting Lauren Matthias and oh, that's a whole other shit show. But yeah, I hope to see you guys tomorrow night and then Sunday night. And look for videos and shorts that I create during the week when I can't live stream. So I've been kind of adding all of it. So again, thank you, Jen. Anything else you wanted to say?
No, thank you guys. It was a great chat. And I thank you, Amber, so much for having me. I appreciate it so much.
No,
You
I
guys are the
appreciate
best.
you. Thank you for all your knowledge in the case and your research. And I'm happy and honored to have you on here discussing that.
Oh, I'm happy and honored to be on here discussing this. It's important. I think these cases are important. So
Mhm.
thank you for having me. All right, you guys, I'm out. Good night and have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll see y'all on Monday.
So,
Bye.
see ya.